to it.
James, did it take any getting used to the start of this week, having one fewer voice in the room from a coaching point of view?
Yeah, it was a little bit funny coming in, alright. Yeah, a bit different. But Si's stepped up and it's been great. And like, you know, we're pretty well supported there between Simon and obviously Paul O'Connell, Foggs and Goody. So I think we'll be in a good spot, but yeah, it's a little bit different.
There's been a lot of talk about how obviously it's going to be a challenge, but do you see it as when Andy does come back later on in the year that there's an opportunity that everyone is a little bit refreshed after the experience?
I guess we've learned so much from Faz over the last number of years that, you know, I think, well, let's say the sign of good coaches is how, you know, the team performs when, you know, they're not there. So I've no doubt we've enough know-how and understanding in the bank from the last several years that hopefully we can keep our performances as consistent as possible.
We had Paul in earlier on, he was talking about how Lineout was one of the big focuses since November. Have you made any changes to it, or has it just been kind of nailing down the small little bits that were missing in November?
Small little bits, like it was a mixture of some drill stuff, some calling, maybe a couple of little bit of detail bits, not quite knowing role, and then just some good defence as well. Like line of defences are better now than they've been, certainly since I've started playing the game, and at every level, at every area, at the international game now, everything's a contest in the air, on the ground. So that's just a reality as well. But we've a good plan in place, I think, and we've been working hard on it. So I think hopefully we should be good to go for England next week.
And just last one for me then. One of the other bits in November was kind of penalty count came up a lot, and cards over the course of 2024 were way higher than they had been in previous years. Is it something that, like, are you trying to be a little bit more, are you trying to kind of hit the boundary of, how do I say it, be a bit more aggressive around kind of contesting the breakdown or around offside line, and is it just trying to get that balance right?
Yeah, we definitely want to push the boundaries, and I guess for us it's just getting the balance right between you know, the avoidable and the unavoidable penalties. And sometimes when you play on the edge, you're going to give penalties away that are sort of unavoidable, and we don't want to take, you know, that license away from us to get after a team physically. And but then there's the avoidable ones, and there are things like offsides or playing the 9 and little ones like that we don't necessarily need to give away, and that put us under pressure. So trying to cut out the avoidable ones is a big one for us this month.
James, Paul gave you a well-deserved rave review of your form at the moment. You mentioned your carrying has kind of gone to a new level. I can't remember exactly how you described it. Has that been a conscious thing for you? Have you made any tweaks with that, or obviously it's Toronto, particularly two big countries?
Yeah, I've invested a bit of time into it the last few months, so I guess it has been a conscious thing. So you know, a fair bit of extras sort of on pitch, sort of post session and so on, and then off pitch. Like Sean O'Brien's been great for me. We've done a bit of work around different things, and you know, like obviously he was such a good carrier, wasn't he, when he played? So it's been useful to have some conversation with him, and he's given me a few cues that I've kind of tried to work with, and that have I think have worked well with me. Yeah.
How nice are those moments like getting to stretch legs against the ground? Obviously nuts and bolts you do a lot, but
yeah, it doesn't happen very often. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's very different to, as you said, the nuts and bolts have been a lot, but yeah, it's good crack. Got a bit of slagging over, but it was fun.
Yeah, for that. Was the last month your new contract was announced? I've seen it a few times since I forgot to ask, but what was that like, making that decision? Was it easy for you, or did you have to weigh up different things or different opportunities, or how was that? Yeah, I mean, you have to weigh up a couple of things, but it was pretty straightforward in the end. Like, I want to keep playing for Ireland. Like, playing for Ireland has given me so much. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's all I've ever wanted to do since I was so young, and I feel like my game is in a good place, and I also feel hopefully that our best days for Ireland are ahead of us. So at the end of the day, it was a fairly easy decision. So yeah, I was delighted to sort of be penciled in now to the next World Cup.
Lastly for me, are you a business owner, investor? Do you have other stuff going on inside rugby? Someone's telling me that you've grown your portfolio. Better phrase.
No, I have a little bit of involvement with a company called Dash Burger. If you like burgers, with sort of a smash burger. So yeah, a little bit of work with them, and yeah, it's like loads of lads have little things outside of rugby, interests and so on. And as I'm sort of getting a bit older, I think having a little bit going on outside the game is useful too. And so yeah, that's something I'm involved in at the moment.
Did you have that question? Well,
Sorry, I actually didn't know what it was.
Johnny then will. Jen, just following on from Murray there, do you feel yourself your form has improved? Just Paul said you're playing really well, and we had a discussion before you came in and agreed. Do you feel that yourself than maybe from a year ago?
Yeah, I think I'm playing better this year at this point than probably I was last year. But so yeah, I'm feeling good. Like I don't think I'm suddenly playing well. I'd like to think I was playing pretty well towards the end of last season as well when I got back from my bicep. But yeah, I'm feeling in a good place. We've had a number of like big games with Leinster that over the last few weeks that haven't come easy either, and that we've had to sort of dig in and grind out wins. So I think we all kind of feel hopefully a little bit more maybe battle hardened coming into this campaign than maybe we did in November.
Yeah, and you think it's a combination then of your bicep probably improving, coming back into playing, what you said with your add-ons and stuff. Do you think Joe coming in since the World Cup has just added into that more competitive sort of nature of your position?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I think, yeah, there's so much competition now, both with Leinster and Ireland, that you know, you have to like really invest in your own game and think about how you can push it on. So yeah, I absolutely think it's been good for me. Yeah.
Just finally for me, you just touched on edge there and how you might give penalties away if the team plays on the edge. Do you think you have to play on the edge to win these kind of matches? You know, where one or two things that have to go your way to win the match. Is it imperative that Ireland will play on the edge in the Six Nations?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're not playing on the edge, then at this level, this is going to go too well for you. So, yeah, as I said, it's just getting the balance right and trying to take those ones away, you know, that we don't need to give away out of our game. But I think our teams are at their very best when we're on the edge. So, yeah.
As Joe, before Joe came along, were you trying to play almost a role that your body isn't built for? And now he's come along, you can kind of go back to the player that you were when you first came through. Is that oversimplifying it a little bit?
I think so, yeah. Like, for me, there's not much difference between 4 and 5, really at all. Outside of scrummaging. But scrummaging a tight headlock isn't necessarily harder than scrummaging at 4. So they're very similar, yeah. Very similar for me.
The mental side of things, do you feel just more mature going into games? Are you more relaxed going into games at all now? Do you feel like you know the stage of career you're at, you've been through so many experiences, you've captain Ireland, captain Leinster. Do you feel that's really standing to you now going into games? Or how does that work?
I wouldn't say I feel more relaxed going to games. I still get quite a bit of that pre-game nerves and anxiety and so on. But I guess I'm at a level now where I think that I have a better idea maybe now than I did when I was a bit younger in terms of what I need to get across in the week of a test match, in terms of what boxes I need to tick and what's going to give me confidence in terms of my preparation to go out and perform in the weekend. So, yeah, I mean, I think I've a good plan in terms of what I need to do, both off the pitch and on the pitch, every week to go into a game feeling like I've earned the right to perform, if that makes sense.
Do you still, is it, how much of the responsibility of the line-out is calling is on one person, or is it shared amongst a couple of you at this stage?
Yeah, it's a couple of us, yeah. I wouldn't say it's on one person because there's so many variables, do you know what I mean? Like there's the speed of the jump, there's the lift, there's the throw, there's the weather, there's what are the opposition doing. So I think it's oversimplified to say it's just on the caller. But yeah, certainly in here there'd be several of us alongside Paulie that would work together in terms of putting together a plan and a menu, as opposed to just one person, yeah.
Last couple of questions, Simon.
Yeah, just going back to that test match edge that you need, how, in terms of preparing for that kind of step up to test level, how important have those Champions Cup games this month been in that regard, in finding that level, or helping to get to that level?
Yeah, they're very important. Like a couple of the games we played recently obviously stick out, like that last show one away. Like games at the very top end of Champions Cup and test matches, there's not really much difference really, they're pretty similar. Yeah, that's why I said I think coming into this, having a lot of the squad being involved in big games, obviously Munster were the same, they had a tough game against Saracens. I think we'll have us in good stead for the next few weeks.
Okay, thanks James. Thanks everybody.
Cheers, James. Thank you.